taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
You know, but also after if you watch that card, if you weren't all boxing out, you know, Top Rank had a card too with the main event of, you know, Emanuel Navarrete looking to pick up his fourth division title against Denys Berinchyk, though. But before we get into that fight, though, and then Pilot, though, and again,
let Pilot lead this one off, bro, because this nigga.
Pilot, why don't you lead us on lead off on the co-main discussion?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Oh, hold on. Salute Zorro De La Vega. What it do?
The Brian Norman versus Gino Santillan, where nobody really gave him a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except me and a few others. No, but yeah, no. I mean, I actually wanted to ask off top if that was a comparable performance to Ray Ford against Otebek. I want y'all opinion real quick on that. Did y'all think that was, in terms of performance of the year? I mean, nobody expected that shit.
No, only because Ray Ford. No, I don't think it's comparable to that per se, though. But I'm not gonna hate on Norman on this one because about how he won too. It's just one of these weird things about boxing that I can't stand sometimes. Because, like I said, I wasn't high on Santillan like that. I was not high on him at all. Like, and then
I wasn't either.
Yeah, the Alexis Rocha fight pretty much was like, okay, where did that shit come from?
That was an anomaly.
Yeah, you know.
But basically, in the co-main, you know, we did have a W. It was sanctioned as WBO interim welterweight 147 championship fight interim. We had Giovanni Santillan, heavy favorite, facing one young 23-year-old Brian Norman Jr., who has not looked very good since he's been on Top Rank, pretty much at all. You know,
and I've seen him live twice, and he's looked horrible. Like I like the articles I've written about his fights are just like, yeah, like nah, like he ain't it. But yeah,
both times, yeah. But I mean, I think he's been on Top Rank 3-4 fights. His last fight against Boca Chica, who gave Villa a good fight, he got dropped brutally, and it was a little close for comfort, and the cut kind of saved him.
Yeah, exactly. It was not like after the fight, like you could tell that it was only a matter of time that maybe Norman was going to get cut, and then like I said, now you add the, you know, hey, there's an interim welterweight belt on the line, which pretty much means by the time August rolls around, you know, obviously Crawford will most likely give up his belts around then, especially if he wins, if he beats Badgemov. So you get that, and then, you know, the winner will get the whole upgrade. And
without even fighting for it, huh? I mean, he'll probably just get upgraded right, you know, ultimately right away.
Yeah, he'll be upgraded like off bat, and so Norman, I guess, found some real motivation in Santillan, who even as mid as he's looked in the past or whatever, is not the type to get busted up like that. And Norman beat the shit out of this guy.
That was, I mean, there's a lot of parallels to Santillan versus Roca. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of parallels because it was a guy we didn't really give much a chance in, who was getting there to get fed to the A side, and ended up brutally winning by an inside rough KO fight. Which, I mean, it was pretty brutal. I mean, how Norman kind of, you know, decimated him. I'm not gonna lie.
Norman beat the shit out of him. Like, I mean, like he.
I like that word, Pilot. Decimate. That's what it was. You made me think of damn Spartacus for that one. Shit, good shit.
And for things too, I thought Santillan would have at least made an adjustment, but then I think I guess he got, you know, I guess he was still thinking, okay, maybe I could, if I wear him out, if I continue to put pressure on him, I'll wear him out eventually, because I think that was his plan. Like, he didn't want to make an adjustment, so he kept on moving forward, and then Norman kept on piecing him up, hooks, especially the uppercuts. The uppercuts couldn't stop landing. And then sooner or later, like, you know, you got Santillan's eyes, both eyes are cut, his nose is broken, like he's bleeding over, he's bleeding like a stuck pig.
His nose was bad. He got sent to the hospital. I mean, they showed after, you know, after the end of the night, they showed that the fucking, you know, he got carried to the hospital and shit.
He did. And then, like I said, though, the finisher was uppercut season worthy, because first it was a right uppercut that had Santillan moving back, and then Norman hit dude with a left uppercut that kind of made his head go bobbleheaded. Like I think it bobbleheaded to the left, and then he crashed to the canvas. You know, and the funny thing is too, Santillan, he did it in Santillan's hometown of San Diego, so the crowd was just silent, and then of course they booed afterwards too. Once Norman got announced as a winner, though. But like I said, I'll give it to Brian Norman, like I said, he wanted it. You know, like I said, that was a stone cold upset. And Zero de la Vega, caught Norman at plus 375 money line right before the fight. Was just worth it with those odds. And I said I don't blame you. You know, saying that. I mean, that was a good risk. You know, if you put a little money, if you put a little change on it. I didn't have him winning on any of my parlays though, but I mean, I'll give it up to him. Like, you saw the hint of potential that everyone kept saying, like, oh yeah, dude, I was a good sparring partner, and you heard it was a good sparring partner, but it just wasn't his performances weren't clicking, but it clicked.
Yeah, he turned it around. Just to add to that, I had a conversation with Lukey boxing the other day. He called me, and one of the things he said, and it wasn't about this fight; it was just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminds me because of this fight. He said, I'm trying to paraphrase this correctly, but shout out to Lukey. It only takes one good performance to change your life, and to like really get you to that next level. And you know what? We were talking about Chris Algieri and Ruslan Provodnikov fight,
right? Mm-hmm.
And that was the performance that changed Algieri's life.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be that one for Norman. Like, he turned it on, because when I caught the fight, he shit out old boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he impressed me with that. Like, them.
Nah, Algieri dug deep for that one.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Norman, but yeah, Algieri, he dug deep for that. That fight made his career.
Yeah, I mean,
just like you could say, like with Broner, his moment was DeMarco,
right?
And hopefully Norman has even more better performances in this in the future, and he keeps on that trajectory. But even if he doesn't, hey man, you always got a spot in Forgotten Fade,
Right. Yeah.
5 years from now, if I'm not here, Ring Gang ain't be here. We ain't gonna forget this.
Yeah, like we'll trust me. Yeah, it'll get written about.
For Norman, I know he's from Atlanta. Atlanta again can be a boxing hub. So to answer to Vega, I think I mean, because I feel like Top Rank is gonna try to jump the gun and make Tio try to fight him. For just because I mean, I feel like the winner is gonna face Tio anyway along the way. But I feel like for now, Norman 23, give him a layup. In Atlanta or something, his hometown, New Hub or something. But give him he's 23.
Wait, you think he would fight? They would make him fight Tito?
I think eventually. I think the plan was for that WBO title to go to Tito. Tito, like you know how they do it. Like WBO, they got that belt, make him 3 division.
I just feel like that's too dangerous for Tio.
Well, before this fight, you wouldn't have thought that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. But see, remember. One fight changes people's careers.
Yeah.
All it takes is one good performance. And you see, like, that performance is dangerous enough where it was good enough, like, the punching power, all of that. And remember how fucked up he had dude face looking?
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, it took Appetite, it took Reyes just 4 rounds to do that.
Right.
This nigga, he went off in, like, a couple rounds and he did that shit. So I don't know, but maybe that's a good Twitter poll for later on this week. Who would people like to see Norman fight next? I'll leave that to Pilot because he the president of the fan club.
I just thought that people weren't really giving him a chance at all, because I know he's looked ass since he's been on Top Rank, but I thought this guy's athletic, he's young, and he has had some fame with the Bud Crawford sparring work. So it was just his moment. I felt like when he said that, I saw him in an interview saying nobody believed in me, and I thought off that. You know what I'm saying? Tim Bradley and all them didn't give him a chance.
Yeah, and obviously for good reason, because like I said, his last fight, his last fight, had it continued or whatever, I think he took the no contest instead of trying to fight, because he knew that loss was coming he was going to lose on the cards. So,
but see, that's the thing too. Like, it's one thing if you're looking good, but you're going up against a style that people are like, man, I don't know, man. Like, dude is experienced, this is that, and but it's another thing if you've been looking
bad, and people are like, yo, like, we don't want you to get hurt, but yeah, I don't know if you're gonna win this fight. I ain't picking you to win this, bro. But go ahead and do your thing. I wish you the best. Like, you gotta recognize sometimes you're not really on fire. You're not looking good. You gotta know that. Like, I don't want to make it seem like the world. If niggas don't believe in you, you know, sometimes just for a reason, like.
Right, you know, yeah, and like I said, you know, it was definitely for a reason with him, because like I said, it was just, yeah, he looked bad, and it's like, so no one would expect him to be like, okay, I'm gonna beat the shit out of someone who just scored a huge upset in his own fight, and then I'm gonna pick up an interim champion, and then most likely I'm gonna be upgraded and champion in the next 3 months. So it's like,
and you see how this shit. Who knows how this gonna work? Like, Santillan literally just had his career performance his last fight, and now it's like he ain't even, that shit ain't even marinate like that, because look what happened this fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And so whoever Norman fight next, I'd be kind of not nervous, but I would not lose focus. I would take that whoever it is serious, because this is feeling like a 154 type shit.
Right.
Where niggas is just like, alright, fuck it. Like, everybody gets a shot at being champion. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
You win your title fight, you lose it next time. You win yours, you lose it next time. Like, alright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, but you know, again, shout out to Brian Norman for, you know, for scoring one of the biggest upsets of the day, and you know, and now, you know, we'll see him, like, he'll most likely be the new WBO welterweight champion. And so we'll see how that you know, how that's going to play out for him in terms of it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, put him in Atlanta, at least give him at least a layup, at least to defend the title at least once. Preferably, he should, you know, he should fight Boca Chica again, because that's still a black eye on his record that he needs to kind of right the wrong on that one.
Yeah, run that back. I mean, Boca Chica's the guy, I think, the only guy Villa never stopped. You know, I remember on the Showbox fight. So, you know, welterweight's at a point right now where you can say that guy's top 15, Randy. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely a winnable, good fight for him. Like,
maybe run that back into A-Town or something. You know, run that back into A-Town, try to get that look back, maybe.
Yeah, do that.
Build your brand up in your hometown, whatever. Like, you know, yeah, I fucks with that movie.
Yeah, so it was good. Now I know the next fight, though, obviously, for a lot of people, it took a lot of the buzz out of the top rank card, especially because the co-main was actually entertaining. Of course, I'm talking about, of course, it was before Emanuel Navarrete and Denys Berinchyk. And before we go into that, we did create a quick poll. If Pilot, you want to bring that poll up? Pause.
In regard to who we thought won the main event?
Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
Yeah, because I mean,
so we did ask. Check us out here at Ranking Radio on Twitter/X, well, every platform, but this is on X/Twitter. We did ask, how do you score the Navarrete Berinchyk fight? 13% had Navarrete, 8% had draw, and an overwhelming 79% had the Ukrainian Berinchyk winning. We had 24 votes and got about 6 days left. Check us out.
Yeah, you know, it's and like I said, truthfully, like I said, this was one of those fights where I think Navarrete was kind of playing with the fire a little bit, because his performances were coming. I mean, his last couple, you know, he almost got KO'd, and you know, he escaped a loss against Conceição. You know, it's like, you know, there was a lot of different things that were going on in Navarrete's life that was like, okay, like, you know, you're playing with fire, you got to kind of like strain up a little bit, and then you hear like the stories. That dude, I think, was like lost like almost around 50 pounds just to try to even make this fight, you know, and you know, and then you know, he's talking about the, you know, he's not as been as disciplined as he has been, but and then you have this and Zora De La Vega. Thank God your poll had those results, because I saw too many people giving Navarrete too much credit.
I didn't get
I'm seeing too many people give Berinchyk credit. What the fuck did he do besides rabbit punch and mug this guy the whole fight, like, and have little pity pat jabs, occasional lefts? Just, he was like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck he did effective. Like,
I mean, I'm on the one.
Navarrete won too, so I'm not the only nigga out here.
I mean, I'm the ones who thought Berinchyk pulled it out on some 115, 113 shit, and the reason why I say that for myself is number one, the rank generalship. Berinchyk won that battle. Like there's not even a
that dude. What the fuck was he doing? He was fouling and
he was
rabbit punching and head.
It wasn't rabbit punching. It was like for Navarrete. Navarrete's fights very unorthodox. So
who made this? Dude, he was fighting even more unorthodox. Like
but the problem is though there was a lot of swing in the miss with Navarrete, and then Berinchyk, even though his power is like his power didn't have enough to affect.
I barely saw Berinchyk land anything, bro. Only thing I seen this nigga land was jabs and like occasional punches and exchanges. Like Navarrete really made that fight. I don't see what Berinchyk did, yo.
Berinchyk, he showed him the angles. He moved him around. He countered him frequently whenever Navarrete was overreaching. Like he did all this stuff. It wasn't. There's a reason why people think Berinchyk won this fight.
That nigga, I ain't seen none of that shit, bro. Like nah.
And Navarrete.
But if y'all having it, I feel like this. If y'all having it 115, 113, then it must be like a scoring preference thing where it could have gone either way, like Lomachenko.
I thought they were gonna rob. I thought they were gonna rob Berinchyk. I thought Berinchyk won.
So I thought I was waiting to say that. I thought they
me too, Vig. I had 8-4 for Berinchyk. Really, I did.
Yeah, like honestly,
what the fuck were y'all watching? I swear, I don't know what y'all niggas was watching.
Yeah, no, Berinchyk fought the fight of his life, and Navarrete did not.
And I think with Navarrete, he's been coming off a long layoff with the injuries. I think he had a couple injuries.
Navarrete was sloppy, but it's like Berinchyk looked even worse. Like
I just feel like
all this nigga kept doing was clubbing shots that was hitting the back.
This is a new weight for him. I feel like it's a new weight for him. You know what I mean? He had the injuries coming up, wasn't as consistent in terms of activity, fighting, you know what I mean? So, I think this might have been his first fight at 135, Pat, or second?
Yeah, it was his first fight at 135.
Yeah, he still got the 130 belt, but it's just like, maybe, I feel like, he's peaked, and now
he was moving. Like, I don't think he should go above 135. Like, I feel like he should just take training more serious.
Yeah, that's the one thing he needs to do because he was sloppy and he was incredibly sloppy. So
like he phoned it in, and I felt like he still won. Like to me, he won the first half of the fight, and then the second half, they was going tit for tat, and they was getting more like aggressive at points. But I still feel like Navarrete got the better of this nigga. Like,
and then Chris Brand said, Chris Brand, good to see that the Nav facade is over, Braze. And then what did Navarrete do? Zora De La Vega said, like,
first, what did Berinchyk do? Shit.
I mean, like I said, keep in mind, we are fans of Navarrete. We actually like Navarrete. Like, if you hear us talk about him, but this is just this was the fight where, like, we do keep it real. I kept it real. He didn't look good, and Berinchyk did enough where, like, I have no point. I have no like. It wasn't overwhelming, but
damn, where the fuck King P at, nigga? I need backup. Like, I need more light skinned niggas. I need more backup. Real light skinned niggas on the panel right now. Like,
you don't need backup.
Because pilot ain't piloted.
Nigga, you don't need backup. It's just everyone has most people.
Nah, fuck that.
Like most people, Berinchyk, like I said, he won because he
won because his country is fucking in war and shit right now, man.
That's very excuse.
That's why they said, okay, let's make this the greatest night of Ukrainian history in boxing. Fuck all that shit. Y'all gave this nigga to fight.
But yeah, Navarrete.
Boo that bullshit ass decision.
Navarrete did. I will say this though, Navarrete didn't focus on the body enough because the body shots clearly had Berinchyk uncomfortable, but he just did not. It seemed like
ain't nobody wanted to fucking focus tonight.
Yeah. It seemed like he didn't want to focus on that too much, and like he got away from actually doing it because I was like, yo, he landed the uppercuts, he just didn't have any effect on him, like not on Berinchyk, but the body shots.
I don't think he landed his best uppercut. Like he never really landed them shits like super clean like that.
Yeah. But the body shots were absolutely landed, and then like I said, the body shots has saved Navarrete before. And I just but this time he just didn't focus on them. Like he didn't yo, get him out of there with the body shots. He doesn't like them. And then you don't do that, and it was just
I agree, Vega. They were both so slow. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had a feeling before the fight, Berinchyk was gonna. It just felt right this week. It felt like just felt like boxing gods were just doing their thing. So I just had to feel.
You know what it is? I'll say this: like Navarrete, since Navarrete, like they always do this to fighters that aren't like that. Their fire kind of blazes low, like when these niggas start having little periods through their career where like they're kind of cooling off, and they start like winning decisions, and the fights are a little closer or more competitive than they should be, or what we intend them. I think they should be, and it's only a matter of time. Like it's like the stars are aligned. The right fighter comes in and he just looks good enough, and then somehow he wins. Like I'll give you an example. I felt like this is almost like how like Jermell Charlo lost to Tony Harrison the first time. Like to this day, Tony Harrison got a gift out of this world in that fucking fight.
Yeah, no, he was the wrong Charlo that should have lost that night. The other Charlo should have.
That night, yeah.
Like he definitely, like, I don't know what the fuck the niggas were smoking, but everybody made such a big deal out about, oh, Tony Harrison's boxing in his counters. But it's the same nigga getting battered around like Tyson Fury at the end of the fight and shit. Like, fuck out of here. Like all that boxing shit don't mean shit if you boxing and then a nigga throw some punches and then you move that shit, push you back 3-4 fucking feet.
Yeah. And to Vega again, you're right about the Berinchyk joint. I don't see him in Loma fighting. So shouts out to him. I mean, he knows what's up. He called out Shakur, Muratalla, and Keyshawn. He knows.
Yeah, he called out some names. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with him on that.
He didn't call out Loma, of course, because they're brothers almost, and their family.
And you know what?
We're not expecting that fight.
Wouldn't have expected it, but for him to call, he knows what he's there for. He's an older cat. He's like, give me one of the young cats, give me the payday. I'll play the game.
Yeah, I mean, he already beat one young cat. Like he's like, fuck it. Like maybe I could really actually have the performance of my career next time, and not get the scoring of my career. I
mean, I wouldn't be surprised though if Top Rank tries to force a Lomachenko Berinchyk unification. Because I mean, because number one, Lomachenko can beat a Berinchyk. There's no question about that in my mind.
Yeah. But they're not going to fight each other.
It would only depend whether or not Lomachenko and Berinchyk would actually fight, because they were.
Look, they're gonna give it to the nigga who's least likely to beat Lomachenko afterwards.
We should do a poll on who do you want to see him face next.
Hey, do it, yeah.
Like between
my friend, we got like several Twitter polls like that. Nigga, you gonna be real busy this week.
I don't know that Keyshawn or Muratalla or Shakur even for unification.
I mean, you can pick a four.
Because it's the thing. Look, if it's Keyshawn, Keyshawn would take the fight. But it's the thing. All that unification shit gonna stop once Keyshawn wins.
Yeah, it's gonna stop.
Niggas is gonna turn into the Dragon Balls again, where everything's split up and shit.
Yeah,
but if it's somebody like Muratalla, or somebody else that they could kind of finesse in there that matches up well with Lomachenko, they'll make that fight instead. But Keyshawn, they'll be fast tracking him, and then you'll have too many of that kind in a position. Then it's like, nah. I'd be surprised if they let Keyshawn get that fight.
They're like, hold on. We let a Negro fight for a title so soon? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Keyshawn Shakur, unless there's a falling out down the line in Zoro, they never gonna fight. It's whatever, if you want to call it whatever you want to call it. But.
Yeah, too many niggas not want to fight each other. Fuck that shit. Like,
yeah, and then like, if I think it's too is like Olympic teammates fighting is no. I mean, hell, I mean, look, we've talked about before Jermaine Taylor and Jeff Lacey fighting, and that fight hurt. That fight broke my heart for a lot of different reasons, because Taylor beat the shit out of Jeff Lacey. That shit had me tight. Like, I was not happy at seeing that fight. Like,
but see, that fight was different because I'm a fan of Jeff Lacey. I'm a fan of Jermaine Taylor, but I was probably a bigger Jermaine Taylor fan. So it was cool for me. Like, and that was also Wilder started his career on that undercard too.
Yeah, that's for y'all. For y'all that need that trivia. But yeah, though that fight. I mean, it happens because if there's gonna be something on the line, then they're gonna fight. In that case, that was I think that was a super middleweight title eliminator of some sort. Because Taylor will go on to face Froch after that, and get brutally knocked out in the remaining seconds of the fight. So, but yeah, it was gonna happen. But yeah, no, I was not happy watching that fight. I didn't want the fight, but I thought Lacey would win, and then Taylor just beats the shit.
Oh damn! You picked Lacey to win that? Oh wow!
I did, my nigga. Yes, because Taylor
was wildin', nigga.
I might have been, but fuck that, nigga. Like he wasn't looking that great.
I feel like almost like you're a bigger fan of Lacey than I was, and I'm the Florida cat. Like
nigga, I was a huge fan of Lacey, but the fact that Taylor beat the shit out of him like he did, that shit had me tight. Like I was vexed. I was like, fuck, man. Like
and then Roy Jones finished off the what was left of him. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Though
that nigga said he was Captain Hook.
Yeah, it made him look like it was 93 Roy. You know what I'm saying? Like, jeez.
He did. I wanted Roy to retire right after that fight. I'm like, damn, Roy, just like let this be the last memory we have of you in the ring. Like he dialed it back a little for that one.
But I'm saying, like, I bet you if Tiebreaker offers enough money, Lomachenko and Berinchyk will fight. Because number one, Lomachenko can easily can beat Berinchyk. Like if Berinchyk beat Lomachenko, then Lomachenko would have to retire. Because
that'd be an ugly ass fight. I never want to see Berinchyk fight again, though. That shit, that nigga just
Yeah.
Like Navarrete,
Navarrete,
you can't cool off in this game, bro. Like you started cooling off the minute you start, because Jamel Charlo, he started cooling off. As soon as you have a fight where somebody else does just enough, they have them beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't even hurt you or even whoop you or anything.
Yeah, it's just like with Berinchyk. I mean, obviously with Berinchyk winning, he has the possibilities. With Navarrete needs to, honestly, if he needs to get a nutritionist, he needs to go do that. Like, I'm tired of hearing all these stories of this motherfucker being in meetings and he's eating candy and shit like that. And he's
they were saying that last night, but he was talking about he got a strength and conditioning. They was talking about, would you get a nutritionist? He's like, nah.
Yeah, no. Apparently the nigga needs that shit though. So it's like, yeah,
he ain't working out hard enough if he ain't because he never looked like he's swole or muscular or he'd even do push-ups.
Yeah, because it's like, and like I said, we appreciate how Navarrete fights, and Navarrete, like I said, should be a pound for pound fighter, but it's like, it was like I said, it wasn't just
coming off a draw and a loss. He might be 15th, but you can't be top. You can't be top 10, 11 if you're coming off a draw and a loss. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then this.
But that draw was some bullshit. He won that fight. That's what I'm talking about with the cooling off. Like when top rank, they know what they be doing, bro. Like, but top rank usually it backfires because they try to do that with their best fighters, and the other niggas who don't need it, like they do, who need it, they don't do that shit with, like.
Right. Yeah.
Like nah.
Pretty much it's like the only clear victory, only fight that you haven't had any difficulty in your last 5 fights against is Valdez. Then something needs to change, because the Bias fight he had to rescue himself. Wilson fight he almost got KO'd. Then Valdez was like he beat the shit out of
the Wilson.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, the Wilson fight.
Wilson he got a 25 second.
The Wilson fight he almost got KO'd. The Baez fight he had to Wilder himself out.
He was down 5-0.
He was getting beat up, like, because I didn't see it live. I remember y'all talked about it, and I was like, I gotta watch this shit. Like, he looked that bad. Like, I seen that shit. I was like, damn, none of these niggas.
I'm not saying his time is over. I think like Chris Brand said, Shaq Voster versus Nav. Let's see that, but I think. Get in the mix at 130, because I don't know, 135.
Navarrete is still a 130 champion though.
He's still a champion. He's still a champion 130. Yeah.
Yeah. So so like there's still fights for him though, but it's like if you're gonna put because I know Shaq Foster, because he even put because he had the forehead slap emoji on there, because it was like money was probably some money was probably lost that night. And not just in people betting for him, but some real, some other money. So it's like, Yeah, Navarrete needs to, I think needs to get his head on straight and realize, like, yo, like, you're still a champion, but that belt could easily go too if you're not focused, or if you're not, even though your condition's not where it needs to be.
I feel like he kind of low key spoiled on the vine, like. Mm-hmm. Like Navarrete at one, like he definitely cooled down. Let me see the comments real quick.
Yep.
Terrence Thompson, what up? Salute.
What up, Doc? Yeah.
Oh, Walker. Okay, yeah. I was a big Lacey fan too. I can remember Lacey landing one clean shot on Taylor. So sad. Yeah, I think he did. He landed like a hook. I think it was one where I think the ref didn't call a knockdown or something. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that fight since maybe 2014, or it's been a while. And I actually watch a lot of Jermaine Taylor fights. But then Nav needs to stay at 130. I didn't think he looked that bad like that. But Berinchyk sucks, yo. Fuck that. He ain't really maybe he ain't fight the right guy to make him pay, because Navarrete didn't even look like he fought or some shit. Yeah, fight at strength and conditioning coach immediately. Yeah, because you didn't look as strong as you should have. Both of y'all niggas slow as fuck. How you get more square shaped? I don't know, bro. That was some weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, Navarrete had the pigeon fat. You can tell his chunks are a little bit high to hide that pigeon fat. So I already know he wasn't he was losing weight he was just to lose weight. He wasn't really conditioned.
Disagree strongly on Navarrete being pound for pound. My thing is, can niggas name 15 better world class fighters than Navarrete? Because he's still top 20, top 15 pound for pound. Ain't too many niggas I'm naming better than Navarrete. He just cooled down. I don't even think he lost. So what the fuck? Yeah, but he need to get better, because I feel like if you have a fight like this, if you got niggas thinking it could go either way, you already lost.
Yeah, because even
if you a pound for pound dude.
Even when we previewed this, I said too, Navarrete should win this handily, should actually KO him. But the fact if you can't separate yourself from someone like Berinchyk to that point where people can say, then you can see why people think he lost. It's
a bad look, because it's just like I was saying, even with Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison the first fight, we done seen Harrison got battered before, so Charlo be knocking motherfuckers out, so he's supposed to knock this motherfucker out. So even if you batter him at the end of the fight, you hurt him a bunch of times, it still ain't enough. Because the nigga, he won some rounds and looked competent with you. So now it's you've been cooling off. Yeah, well, it's this guy's turn now. And I feel and boxing has a habit of doing that shit. And Navarrete cooled off enough to where it happened to him. And this is usually the one fight you have before, if you don't take it serious next time, this is the fight before he gets his ass kicked. Because he didn't get his ass whooped this fight. He lost, but he didn't get no beating.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't get a beating.
That's what's coming if you don't turn this shit around.
Yeah, because there's enough motherfuckers at 135 and 130 that we more than that could put some knots in his forehead.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, Navarrete and Shaki Foster would be a fight of the year.
Absolutely, I know Top Rank wants to make it. We'll see what Navarrete does. Like I said, hopefully, first thing first, you got to make sure he can make weight to go down to 130, because it's if he's having weight now.
Again, I have a feeling his best days are past it. He might be.
He never got him the big money fight.
Yeah, but he made decent money though. I'm saying, he's okay. I think, what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's he never really got a chance to prove himself with another undefeated elite guy.
This guy started at I know he was a big dude, but he started at 115, I think, right? He started at 115 a real lower weight. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and he's a former Sooner bantamweight champion. So yeah, he's getting older, so there's no question about that. Yeah. But like I said, if his condition, if he was really making weight, his condition, he wouldn't have pigeon fat on his spilling off the side of his trunks. So it's you gotta kind of clean all that shit up. Like, you know, you got.
And then you gotta remember too. At one point, it seemed like Navarrete was just taking a bunch of like busy fights too.
Right, and it's not, and in a way, it's nothing wrong with that because he was active, you know. But
he was active, but then it's like everyone around him was being in bigger fights. I kind of felt like Top Rank just felt like there's nothing else we could do with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Shakur Stevenson fights were always there. The Oscar Valdez fight was been there. Like he just got that last year.
He's kind of peaked in the ring and peaked in terms of, I don't say popularity, but in terms of his value at Top Rank. I mean, he's kind of peaked all across the board. I mean, I don't know how old he is off top. How old is he? I mean, look how old he is. I'm just wondering. But it seems like, again, you know.
Well, he's not that old. I think he's not even 30.
Yeah. But
you see, y'all niggas is talking about him like he's 35. Like,
he's 29. But I mean, you know, he's a little older than 29 boxing years. You know what I mean? I'm just saying he's been around the block.
I mean, I feel you. It's just, yeah,
the injury. Remember a couple years ago. Remember we were talking about a pound list and we were trying to add him, but he was on the shelf for a good year or so. You know what I mean? He was on the shelf for a good year and a half. It felt like. It's just inactivity, consistency. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
No, it's a little of everything. Like he would win. Like he fought names and quality guys, but they were just mixed in throughout his career. But he would have those little dull moments where he's just active, and yeah, he's just active, and everyone else is having bigger fights. He never really got that marquee fight. Like Oscar Valdez was the closest thing to a marquee fight he ever got. And this is Oscar Valdez that's already been through the ringer. He got the damn Derbianchenko version of Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, his career ain't over. He just got to take this shit serious, cause bro, like you can't have no more performances like this, nigga.
Right. Yeah,
Even if you won 5 rounds, the fact you made this motherfucker get 7 rounds over you, like look at him, like the fuck. I do you too, nigga.
Yeah, you can tell LB's disgusted with this shit because it's like
I am like just the fact that the fight was that close and competitive, you know, like bro. I could name, but see,
first
the thing is, Berinchyk ain't no pound for pound guy. Like, ain't nobody picking him to beat nobody right now after this.
Hell no.
Exactly. So you got to pick somebody else. Like you picked it, and this nigga, he won a 115, 113 ugly ass fight. Like that nigga, like he equal to them. He at least equal to Navarrete at this point. Like. Your country got to get damn aid and shit. Like, nigga, Biden take that fucking money back. Yeah, sorry ass performance, nigga. Sorry ass performance, nigga. You don't deserve that money, nigga.
You know, but yeah, like I say, we'll see.
Nah, he'll get beat up too much if you put Navarrete in some action-packed fights. Like the way he's moving now, you want him retired. Go ahead, bro. Just say that.
Yeah. The funny thing is too is I mean, like I said, it was part of the first fight where action wise, like I said, Navarrete was just it was not it might have been one of the least action fights for Navarrete ever, or at least in a long while.
In a long time.
You had someone just as awkward as his ass, who was less offensive. So yeah, that was gonna look ugly.
But yeah, overall, yesterday was just a long day of boxing. But like I said, it delivered for the in different ways. But like I said, there was upsets, there was changing of the guards, stuff, and fights that would kind of set up the future. Like that.
Boxing gods was getting receipts. That's all I'm saying. The Piper came back. Like he came back. That's all I'm saying. Boxing gods did they thing.
Yeah.